Natural causes of climate change. Besides human activities, there are several causes of climate change, which are natural in nature. These include solar variation, continental drift, plate tectonic activity, and water vapor. These natural causes of climate change have a large impact on Earth's climate, as do human activities. This video briefly discusses the most significant of these causes. To better understand climate change, it is helpful to consider all of them if possible. Here are some examples. In addition, we'll discuss their relationship to global climate change. Solar variation. There are three main mechanisms that govern solar variability. One of them is solar evolution, which is linked to the magnetic field generated by the sun's dynamo, which is situated deep within its atmosphere and convection zone. Solar evolution is similar to the evolution of other stars, such as Jupiter and Saturn. During the sun's 10 billion year tenure on the main sequence, it is expected to double in brightness and expand significantly in radius. Researchers have calculated that solar brightness variations are related to sunspots, and this has an influence on the climate. The irradiance of the sun varies by about 1 part in 1,000 over a cycle, which is an impressive feat of instrumentation. While there is not enough data to draw conclusions about long-term climate change, rough calculations suggest that even a 0.5% variation would have a dramatic effect on global temperatures. Continental drift. The theory behind the rise of the Himalayas is simple: land masses that were once linked together separated and drifted apart. This movement has changed the position of water bodies, influenced the flow of winds and ocean currents, and altered climate. Today, the Himalayan range is rising by about 1 millimeter per year, and the Indian landmass is moving toward Asia. Scientists are now investigating the role of tectonic plate movement in climate change. The theory of continental drift is based on plate tectonics, which states that Earth's plates move slowly. Heat in the Earth's mantle triggers movement. The gradual movement eventually causes continents to separate. This has profound effects on climate change and evolution. But there is more to the theory than that. Scientists are now analyzing the physical evidence to find out how continents got to be separated. Plate tectonic activity. The motion of tectonic plates changes the global climate. Plate tectonics has different effects on the climate because the movement of the tectonic plates affects the distribution of the continents and oceans, mountain ranges, and wetlands. It also alters the distribution of heat and water. In the past, the movement of plates has altered global climate, and the changes can be felt by humans today. Mountains build up on land, slowing down the movement of plates. They store carbon, which then falls to the seafloor as a carbon sink and withdraws from the atmosphere. The cooling of these mountain chains contributes to global climate change. Scientists are still trying to determine which factor controls climate change. They are looking at 3 dramatic examples to understand the effect of plate tectonics on the global climate. Water vapor. The largest contributor to human-induced climate change is water vapor, which is produced through agriculture. In recent years, water vapor concentrations have increased about 0.41 kilograms per square meter per year, compared with 0 in 1988. This means that, for every kilogram of CO2 produced by humans, water vapor emissions can offset only a few % of the warming effect. This is not enough to combat global warming, however. In addition to this, water vapor is also a significant contributor to the greenhouse effect. While water vapor is not directly responsible for the warming effect, it amplifies the warming effect of other gases by adding to the air's moisture content. The more water vapor in the atmosphere, the greater the warming effect. But what is the role of water vapor in climate change? Is water vapor responsible for all climate changes? Volcanic activity. There are many natural causes of climate change, and volcanic activity is one of them. A single eruption of a volcano releases up to 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide, which contributes to global cooling. The bigger particles disperse quickly in the atmosphere, but the finer particles are converted to sulfuric acid and can block up to 10% of the sun's energy. Volcanoes are the largest source of carbon dioxide emissions. Human activities contribute about 40% of the world's carbon dioxide emissions. Volcanoes produce about half of that amount each year. While these large eruptions may be able to match human CO2 emissions for a few hours, they are not common enough to rival human annual emissions. In fact, some U.S. states emit more carbon than all of these volcanic activities combined. Deforestation. In addition to causing climate change, deforestation has significant biodiversity impacts. Forests can store between 450 and 650 pg of carbon, almost as much as the atmosphere. The global warming of the past few decades has increased the amount of CO2 that forest vegetation is able to store. Deforestation also causes the loss of these trees, which may affect the occurrence of forest fires. Most of the deforestation is occurring in tropical regions, but non-tropical forests will also suffer from the loss of natural forest cover. Deforestation is linked to CO2 emissions, and the loss of forests could be the third largest source of greenhouse gases in the world. While China reforests at an accelerating rate, other countries are still losing forest cover. In some countries, deforestation is driven by increased agricultural development. Your support is much appreciated. Do like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.